Online coral order from Prestige Reef, new cleanup crew and a brand new Wavemaker. Let's take a look. Roll those titles. Chapter 2 is all about stocking this Red Sea Max Nano with some beautiful corals. Yes, I know everybody on the channel's been pestering me to get some corals in this Red Sea Max Nano, so my 4-month to 8-month period is about stocking the tank. And I have got a wish list, like every single reefer, and it's always good to have a wish list, otherwise when you go down to the LFS you get drawn in, you get suckered in like a moth to a light, and you end up buying anything and everything. I've actually become a little bit of a victim of that in today's video, and you'll see later on in today's video. But you'll also have a little look at what I bought from Prestige Reef, and that's really exciting. I'm super excited to show you that. I've got to say, I've got a brand new Wavemaker that's on the back of my previous video, Ugly Stage. If you haven't seen Ugly Stage, go and check it out on the channel. I talked about increasing the flow, so I've got a brand new Wavemaker in there. You might be able to see it just over my shoulder. And also I increased the cleanup crew, which is also linked to my video on Ugly Stage that I did previously on the channel about a week ago. Well, one thing I just want to mention, it's just an observation really, how expensive everything is in reefing anyway. Yeah, that's kind of a given, but I've only been in this hobby well, really since September with the tank, and I've noticed that things are going up in price quite significantly. I don't know if this is just me, I've been a Yorkshireman and a bit of a tight git, but I've noticed things going up in price. So the first thing I notice is the Red Sea Max Nano tank. So I bought the Red Sea Max Nano tank for just over £500, and I looked at it online earlier this week and it's about £670 for the same tank. I was like, goodness me, that's gone up quite a lot. So I'm glad I got mine a little bit earlier. Then I was looking at corals, and I don't know about you, but corals they're so expensive, aren't they? And they just feel like every time I look at them on the website, they're getting dearer and dearer and dearer. I don't know if this is something to do with leaving the EU and difficulty getting supply and things, but yeah, I just noticed that things are getting a little bit pricier. If you've noticed the same, then yeah, let me know. I don't know if you have or not. Anyway, going on, I'm just rambling on here, aren't I? Going on to my recent order from Prestige Reef, I did say that I wasn't going to order any more corals online because of, you know, they don't always look like the picture, and the best corals that I've ever bought have been from Cellar Marine, and I went in store to pick them. However, I thought I'd give it one more go because I've seen a video by Prestige Reef that gave me a little bit of reassurance, and I ordered from him early last week, and yeah, let's take a look at my new purchases, my new coral orders from Prestige Reef. So here we are. I'm super excited to receive my parcel from Prestige Reef. Now, I follow Ryan's channel on YouTube, and I know what I said. I said that I wasn't going to buy any more corals online via eBay or via websites, but I've been watching Prestige Reef channel. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to his channel. He's absolutely brilliant guy. I watched a video, his latest video, called How to Ship Live Corals plus New and Rare Corals. Now, I watched this video and it gave me great reassurance about his processes around acclimating, fragging, cleaning for hitchhikers, packaging, coral delivery, and his photographs and his 4,000 litre tank look absolutely spot on. And also I think his pricing's pretty fair. So my package I ordered last Tuesday. He emailed me straight back and said, you know what, I don't think this week's going to be any good because of the extreme temperatures here in the UK. How about early next week? So I said, yeah, absolutely, as long as they get here, I'm happy to wait, as long as they get here in one piece and alive. I'm really happy with that. So we had really great communication from day one. Also, I originally purchased 2 corals, which are soft corals. I don't know if you get this on camera. So I've ordered in this box the orange bullseye mushroom, low lighting, low flow, and I've also ordered the green recordia mushroom as well. Again, low light, low flow. I do love my mushroom corals. I haven't got any, but the colours look so vibrant as well. So I'm super excited to get my hands on my first mushroom corals. But about 2 days later, I actually decided that I wanted another coral, which is orange hammer coral here. this one here, and I emailed him and asked him, can I add this to the order? Absolutely no problem. So all 3 are in this packaging. It came with Royal Mail delivery, and it arrived at, say, 9:30 this morning, so really prompt. Just get them out. The packaging is absolutely supreme, and again, I'm used to seeing my corals in bags, but here they've come in these little plastic containers, which I did see on the video, really secure and held in one place. So absolutely fantastic. So we'll get these guys out of here. What I'll do, that's the torch. There's also something at the bottom here, which is now this looks like, just by opening this, compared to some other online, with all due respect, this looks like some sort of professional operation going on here. And I also don't think his corals are too overly priced as well for what you're getting. So he's got some instructions about how to acclimate here, switch off the tank lights, place, dip your corals, yeah, and so forth. So really, let's take a look from left to right. On the left we've got our orange hammer coral, we've then got our orange bullseye redactus mushroom, and then we've got our green recordian mushroom. Now, that guy is awesome. Such a professional operation. The packaging, the communication, the quality of the corals that we've got. And I'm going to create a Down on the Reef midweek special later on this week. So if you want to have a little look at that, I'll get closer up on the corals so you can see them and see the beauty of them. You can probably just see them over my shoulder at the moment. The torch coral is absolutely beautiful. It's not fully out at the moment because I've turned the whites up, and it fell over a little bit in the night. Just a little bit drunk or something. It tipped over a little bit in the night because I haven't gummed it down yet to the rocks, and I'm just waiting to make sure I've got it in the right position. But it's absolutely stunning. The mushroom corals are awesome. So yeah, I'm going to give you a closer look at those corals in the Down on the Reef special early this week. But yeah, I can't say enough about Prestige Reef. He is my #1 go-to for online corals, and I shouldn't really say this because it's so difficult to, if you've looked at Prestige Reef's website, it's beautiful, it's very professional, but it's very difficult to get hold of corals. Most of them are sold out. Now that does tell you something about the business that is running there and the quality of his corals. So I regularly have it on newly updated on the filter, and I'm scrolling down. I scroll down every single day to see if there's anything new and exciting there, and if I'm telling you guys about it, then there's less chance that I'm actually going to get some nice new corals. But it's only fair. He's an incredible guy, great business, and I've been super impressed, and I love my corals from him, so I'm going to keep an eye out and hopefully get some more from Prestige Reef. Anyway, going back to the second thing that I've updated is my Wavemaker. Obviously I had a problem with diatoms and air algae. I can't even say that, air algae, and I had to increase the flow. Many of you on the comments, and I do really appreciate your comments giving me advice, many of you on the comments said you need to increase the flow on your sandbed and on your rocks, and that will help to get rid of those diatoms and algae. So I went for a cheaper option, the Chinese made Jaebo Wavemaker at £45. Absolute steal. I don't know how they make it for such a low price. It comes with its own independent controller, so I get some functionality with that. I don't normally buy cheap Chinese products, not because I've got anything against China, just because we know generally they don't have as much of a lifespan as some other products. But reviews online are really good, and I watched Reef King's video. He on his shallow bed coral tanks, he's also using Jaebo's, and I'm not looking for masses of flow. I'm just looking for a little bit more turbulent flow, a slight increase in the flow levels, and a bit more variation rather than the amount of flow going. Now you probably noticed from that video that it has actually moved the Jaebo, and I also just mentioned that it was from China, and I was kind of saying, oh no, I don't really try and buy things from China because they don't last very long, and then I realised that this whole setup here is Chinese. The Red Sea Max Nano is actually made in China, which I love, my Red Sea Max Nano, so nothing against Chinese products at all. That's my disclaimer to this video. As I say, you probably noticed that I've moved the Wavemaker from this side. There was two reasons. Number one, it didn't look obviously aesthetically pleasing when the main angle of my display is this side and all I could see was the Wavemaker. I didn't really like that. Also, I was trying to dial in the flow, and what was happening was when I had the Wavemakers on opposite sides, I had a huge even though I dialed it right down, a huge storm of sand, and it reminded me, if you're old enough and you're into this sort of scene, Darude sandstorm. So I had to turn it right down. The fish were like swimming like mad, going crazy. So I turned it down, I've moved its position, I've pointed it more at the rock work, and it seems to be, yeah, it's doing its job. It's slowly turning those sand grains over. It's not massively distributing the sand elsewhere in the tank, which is what it was doing before. And it's working, so thank you for everybody who said you need to increase the flow. It is working, got a bit more oxygenation in there, so really pleased with the Jaebo. The only thing is though, and I've read after buying it, which is a bit worrying, that they suck in fish into the side vents and fish have been killed inside them, and also they're not NEM proof. They're not so NEMs get sucked into them as well, and that can chew them up and spit them back out again. So I'm just wondering if there's anybody on here, and I've looked but I can't find anything. Is there anybody on here who can who knows of a sponge that can fit directly over the top of the Jaebo 10 it is that I've got, or some people are doing a 3D printed cups that go on that add a bit more guard to the Wavemaker. If you make one of those, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Just drop me a comment and I'll get in touch. I would like to put a cover on the Jaebo because I don't want anything getting sucked into it. Obviously that's a bit crazy, but I only read that after I bought it, which is a bit worrying. Anyway, going on to my last purchase, which is at Coral Marine. Great guy Lee, who runs a brilliant operation down at Coral Marine. I know many of you people who watch this channel are massive fans of Coral Marine down in Stoke-on-Trent. Obviously I need some cleanup crew, so where do you go? The #1 guy for cleanup crew. He's got a huge bank. It must be of I don't know, 12 to 15 tanks of various different cleanup crew. So I went down there to pick up some cleanup crew, and guess what? Yeah, got sucked in and bought something else. Let's take a look. Here's a clue, I'm in Fenton. Now every time I say that word, Fenton, it makes me laugh because it reminds me, I don't know if you've seen this little YouTube clip. I'm in Fenton, which is a part of Stoke-on-Trent, and I'm going to go to Cellar Marine today. That's the plan. We're going to have a little look for some cleanup crew and see what corals they've got in stock. So, so we're here. Going to go inside, have a little look. Cleanup crew, corals, that's what we're looking for. So I'll let you know what I buy, and then you'll see me bobbing it in the tank. But yeah, just give you a little view. There we go. There's Cellar Marine from the outside, and that's where we're going in. So let's go and take a look. So here is my little haul from Cellar Marine in Stoke-on-Trent. If you haven't been, try and get down there. Lee and Josh do an amazing job operating there, and I've got my little haul. Most of this is on the wish list, so I had a plan list. I have got one that wasn't on my original list. They say don't buy anything if you don't know what you're kind of getting off your wish list, but I've gone with that. So I'll tell you about that one first. I've got an orange fungear plate, which is super bright. It's going to go on the sunbed. Apparently they're quite easy, so I'm going to get that one in and acclimate that one. I've got, have you seen my other video, Ugly Stage? I promised more cleanup crew for my rock work, so I've got some more Astrea snails. They're going to go in, and I've also got another cleaner for my sandbed. I've got Carl the Conch, a friend, another conch snail, quite large and super healthy. But the risky one, this is the risky one. I've actually bought what every clownfish pair needs. And when you're setting out with a reef tank, you kind of get a pair of clownfish and obviously a nem. So here is my nem. I'm a bit worried about it because I heard that they can go a little bit rogue when they're wandering around the tank. So what I've got is some media bags, and they're going to go over the power heads that I've put in just to protect the nem from the power heads whilst it's wandering around and trying to find its spot. But this is what it looks like, a tri-coloured nem. Oh my goodness, it looks super gorgeous. So that's going to go in, it'll wander around for a bit till it finds its spot. I know where I'd like it to go, but I don't think it'll make its own mind up, I believe. I've also picked up, because people on the comments my previous videos said get some phytoplankton. I picked some up. I'm not going to do anything with it just yet, but I'm going to do a bit more reading, a bit more learning, like everything with this reefing game, before I start to use that. But I've just picked some up, so I've got some in stock. So I am going to get all these in. I'm going to acclimate the cleanup crew and the nem, and for the fungia plate I'm going to dip the fungia plate with our Coral RX. Not going to dip the nem. The nem is going to go drip acclimated because it's kind of a living creature, same as the clean. There you go, that's what happens when you have a wish list but you still go rogue. Yeah, I bought a tri-coloured nem. Now, I've always wanted a nem. Obviously, if you've got a pair of clownfish, you want that symbiotic relationship between the nem and the clowns. It's a bit like the goby and the shrimp. There's two things that I've always wanted in this reef tank, which is nem and clowns and goby and pistol shrimp. So I took the risk and I took the gamble. Now, I know the tri-coloured nem seems to be the most popular one. It's obviously the most vibrant colours. It's absolutely stunning. But I later read that they go wandering around the tank at night, and this is another reason why I need a Jaebo guard, because I don't want him getting sucked in. Now, I have been putting the filter bags, I have been putting these filter bags over the heads, and I do that at night because that's apparently when they do most of their wandering around. During the day, he seems pretty happy, and he has actually stayed exactly where I put him for now, where the light is quite high and the flow is also quite high. So I'm hoping and praying that the nem, the tri-coloured nem, stays put. I don't want him wandering, I don't want him stinging anything, I don't want him killing anything. I just want him to be very well behaved and stay in one place, and then the clowns find him. But I'm super excited about it, but it's put me on edge. I'm so nervous every morning to see what's gone on with the nem. Where is it in the tank? Has it moved? Has it stung anything? Because I'd be gutted if it stung any of my corals, because I've only got about 3, so I don't want them killing my 3 corals that I've already got. But it looks awesome. So I'll just give you a very quick glance at the nem. There it is on the side. It opens up more when it's under the blues and things like that. It opens up a lot more under the blues, but yeah, there it is. Super excited to see the journey of the nem. I am also a bit concerned that it's going to get too big, so I'm going to have to think about how I'm going to manage that. It is a bit of a risk because it's obviously not a coral, it's a living creature from the jellyfish family, so it moves, you know, you have to feed it apparently. So I'm learning along the way. If you've got any nem experts who follow Jay's Real Reef, yeah, give me some tips. I'd love some more tips on looking after the nem. But also I picked up my plating Favia, the orange one at the bottom on the sandbed. It looks so beautiful under the blues. Again, I'll give you a closer look at the corals in our midweek update down on the reef, Jay's Real Reef. So it's been a busy old week and there's lots of updates to tell you. Sorry that this video is lasting so long, but I'm nearly there. I'm going to tell you a couple of other things that's been going on before we finish. My water parameters, yeah, my water parameters have been really good. My nitrites and ammonia are 0,0. My nitrate is 1.14 parts per million, so that's low, it's still under 2. My phosphates are 0.06 parts per million. I think that's why the nem is really liking the tank at the moment. I've done 3 water changes as promised based on my last video, which is really helping. I'm going to try and do those water changes, which is a bit easier on Red Sea Max Nano, roughly every 3 to 4 days, keeping up to date with that. But the one parameter that's really helping me out, and I've noticed the biggest difference, is pH. When my pH was around about 7.9 and 8, the tank never looked as healthy and as vibrant vibrant, the colours weren't as good. Now it's running at 8.4, it's really hit a sweet spot, so I've been really impressed with the pH on the tank. So things are getting there. Since I did my ugly stage video, things are looking a whole lot better. Some special thanks is going to go out to Gary. Gary always sends me updates on his reef tank, loving the photographs and seeing the development. Also, a big shout out to Mogsys Aquarium. Mogsys Aquarium, I watched one of your videos recently on this, the Triton lab test. Now I'm going to be putting this to the test in my video next week to see how close my Hannahs are to the Triton results. That'll be really interesting. Also, I've had the tank up and running just over 4 months, and I think I'm going to do these on a quarterly basis, so that's going to be 4 a year. I'm interested to see how that goes on. But Mogsys Aquarium, watch this video, really good video on the Triton. I've had a link to Kal-El's Reef on Instagram, really great guy. Set up an Instagram channel, some really good stuff on there, Kal-El's Reef. Check that out. I'll put all these links in the description. And FishPalace, a new channel on YouTube that I've come across, really good. Again, I'll put this link in the video so you can go and follow him, give them all a like, a subscribe and a heart. Also, a big thank you to all our new subscribers at Jay's Real Reef UK. You're absolutely brilliant, this community around here. I try and get back to all of you on the comments, so I do apologise if I don't, but I try to. But also, there's so many new reefers following Jay's Real Reef. You're telling me about new tanks that you've bought, you're stocking it with your aquascapes and your corals and your fish. Honestly, it's absolutely brilliant. I know how exciting it is to get a brand new reef tank, especially when you've got this time at the moment to admire it and enjoy it. So all of you guys and girls who have got a brand new reef tank, all the best with your journey, and please keep me updated. I'd love to know. If you have an Instagram, tell me about it. If you have a YouTube that I can follow it, I'd love to know. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, it means a huge amount. Give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you hear about our video down the reef midweek, and also our Triton testing that's coming up as well. It's lovely to see you all. I'm going to sit back now and enjoy my cup of Yorkshire tea, who still haven't sponsored me yet. But I'm going to sit back and enjoy my Yorkshire tea. The water change has been done. It's now time to enjoy the corals and the reef. You guys stay safe. Thank you very much. New coral order from Prestige Reef.